All right, we on? Roger that. I think we're on. I peeled out of bed and I was like, I'm going to hit the news. I got a feeling. I need to shave. Look like shit. All right, let's let some people get in here. This chat is live. This is a live chat, so let's wait until people are here. Hold on, I could just simmer down. I could run some water through my hair. Binky, I'm gonna have to get back to you. Did you see my underpants? I'm in my boxer shorts. I don't like this fucking operation here. Piece of shit. All right, we're gonna get to the news. What's good? And James in the hoodie. Yeah, I need a hoodie. You're right. I'm feeling naked. Where is my hoodie? Yeah, that's a good idea. There's no hoodies. There's not. They said the producers kicked me in the ass and said, "There's no fucking whatever you want." What? This is abusive. This is an abusive relationship. All right, I'll get to the news. There's like a conspiracy theory that somebody's holding me hostage, like making me like do this. Remember there was a conspiracy theory about the girl, and she like showed her shit and like her. She's like hello. She was like some just. She still is like this. Like hello, blah, blah, blah. And she sells her dresses and like get it at this bin. She has some tea or whatever. And then there was like these conspiracies that she was getting punked up behind the scenes, and or she was on drugs or something weird. People were like, "Fucking blink 3 times if you fucking." Da, da, da. It was a whole deal. Anyway, that's what I was trying to talk about. But seriously, how have you been? Can we pop that into that? No. All right. Roger that. Can I get a hold on. Sumatra. Let me get this one. No, okay. So let me take this out. Let me go like that. Doesn't work like that. I see. All right. I understand you now. So what you're trying to say to me is I can't get this chat out. So what I do is I go back here and I say fucking restore chat. Like that. And then I pop it out from here. So it's on this side of the matrix. That's what happens with these desktops. What's good, Binkies? Is it freezing cold over there? My boy is coming to your hood. My boy is coming to your hood. He's coming. He's driving up there. Fucking. I don't know. He didn't give us a call during the show yesterday. What an asshole. Yeah, we were supposed to get on the ground stuff, going through all those states and everything. But we are going to go through some news and things. I just wanted to see how everybody was. Looks like Binks is the only one. Is this 5 on 5? Is everything fine with this stream? Other than that, Blink 182. The tip jar is the reason for that is because I don't think the link is like working anymore or something. I don't know what's wrong with the link. That's where they tell me to go. So they got these like scan things. So I'm trying this out, you know. I'm like, because this is like my only like way of survival, you know. So I'm gonna open up a PO box today. And then go from there. Yes. So is it, what's the weather like on the west side? Sticky? Let me see, it's June. What is it, February? February 14th. It's like Valentine's Day. It's like February 14th, right? February 10th? Alright, February 10th. So, as I remember, New Jersey and shit and New York were all fucking humid as shit. Wake up, it's like sweaty hot. Sweaty hot from the fucking... from over there and fucking... You crazy? VAR shock NATO strikes as hottest CPI in 40 years sends rate hike odds soaring. Robobank can echo the 70s. North American automakers shutter production amid the Canadian trucker blockade. I told you. We hope the situation is resolved quickly because it's going to have an impact widespread on all automakers. They're going to go to the robotics. I told you. That's what they're doing. They wanted the truckers to do whatever the hell the truckers were doing. That way they could fix in the robots and it would be even more economical and blah, blah, blah. Everything's robotic after this point. That they needed the truckers to be demonized. The truckers are demonized. And that's the way that these boys play. Your last minute CPI review. Fuel to melt up, levels to watch ahead of CPI. Due to the gamma position, we see less downside tail risk for the S&P today, but NASDAQ and small caps face volatility. Hey, COVID conspiracies have now magically become fact-checked mainstream narrative. Holy shit. Guys, this is amazing. YouTube wants to let you know that the opinions in this video and some of the opinions I say and some of the opinions that you might say contradict the consensus medical opinion about COVID-19. Beware. Thank you. Good morning, Access Through Christ. Good morning, Access Through Christ. COVID conspiracy theories have now magically become fact-check mainstream narrative. I started out 2022 by predicting... Can we get this toned down a bit? Yeah. Hold on. Tone this down maybe a bit, hey? Zoom out. There you go. I started out 2022 by predicting that capitalism and common sense would catalyze a massive pivot, and somehow the mainstream media reports on COVID. I believe the media would eventually start the process of pivoting from hysteria that the politicians, understanding full well that they can't get reelected during midterms this year on a platform of locking people in their homes, would follow. All I can say in 1 month into the year is, holy shit, does it look like I was right. so far in 2022. Innumerable U.S. states, in addition, countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, are lifting COVID restrictions. Connecticut and Delaware are planning on lifting school mask mandates by the end of March. Oregon officials have also announced that general mask mandates would be lifted March 31st. New Jersey, California announced they would ease mandates in coming weeks. And the media narrative has very quickly changed too. Dr. Lena Wen, columnist of the Washington Post and CNN medical analyst, who has in the past gushed nonstop about following the government's COVID guidance, has now completely changed her playbook for appearances on CNN. On Monday this week, she told CNN that there was a time and place for pandemic restrictions, but when they were put in, it was always with the understanding that they would be removed as soon as we can. Oh, that's her? Oh, she works for China, maybe. Maybe she works for China. I don't want to racial profile, but I don't want to racial profile. What do you think? What do you think? Did she work for China? I mean, that would be called racial profiling, and then I'd be racist. So I can't do that. Alrighty. So you got a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Okay.
Do you agree with the move?
I do. There was and is a time and place for pandemic restrictions, but when they were put in, it was always with the understanding that they would be removed as soon as we can. And in this case, circumstances have changed. Case counts are declining. Also, the science has changed. We know that vaccines protect very well against Omicron, which is the dominant variant. Everyone 5 and older have widespread access to vaccines. And we also know about one-way masking, the idea that even if other people around you are not wearing masks, if you wear a high quality mask, that also protects you, the wearer, too. And so in this case, I'm not saying, I don't think anyone really is saying that no one should ever wear masks, but rather that the responsibility should shift from a government mandate imposed from the state or the local district of the school. Rather, it should shift to an individual responsibility by the family, who can still decide that their child can wear a mask if needed.
Take New Jersey, the case in New Jersey, for instance. Their new case average is just over 4,000. Is that an acceptable number to do this, or are they projecting out to March 7th at this point?
I don't think we should be looking at case counts at all at this point, especially when we're dealing with a milder variant and when so many people were exposed to Omicron and therefore have at least some level of protection either through vaccination or immunity. The key number that we should be looking at is hospitalizations. If our
Okay, let's tone her down right there, maybe. Maybe that's a good idea. Are we getting everything, good? Is it a 5-on-5? Or am I getting heckadanza? We got 7 viewers. Seems possibly infiltrated, but whatever. Is it 5-on-5? Can I get a 5-on-5? Hi, Binky. Everyone's hello, yes. Are we 15? Are we 15? Are we 5-on-2? Where are we? Let me get text. Are we 5-on-5? Okay. Are we 5 on 5? Hey. What about this one? Bold? Are we 5 on 5? Is that it? Where is it? Yeah. It's right here. Are we 5 on 5 yet? That looks spooky. No, I don't want that one. Go back. Go back to this one. What's this one about? No? Oh, what the fuck? Alright, what about Courier? I know Courier. What? This shit sucks. No, just go regular. Okay? Why does this suck so bad? Why does it look all stretched out and warped? Let me see here. Alright, Apple Gothic. So they're all messed up like that. Oh, that one sucks. That's terrible. That one sucks too, buddy. Go to that one. Are we 5 on 5? So are we 5 on 5? Okay, that's good. Alrighty then. Alright, let me get the chat where I can read it here. We placed it over here, did we? I saw where Ottawa reserved several buses for today and nobody knows why. Many think they're bringing in rioters to make the peaceful freedom movement look bad and give them a reason to shut it down. I know they're demonizing the truckers, but the people should wake up. I think it's worth the push the truth peacefully. I watched Stunning Dummy, a streamer, get saved last night. Wow, that's good news. That's good news. So you guys haven't asked. Oh, CBB, we are 5 on 5. Wow, I was like, somebody's gonna answer the question, eh? All right. All right, good. You guys really, you guys really give it to me. I'm gonna get a second cup of coffee. We're just diving into the news, but it's still early, and I mean, I might have jumped the gun. Maybe there was an alarm clock I didn't know about. The Angels wanted me to get up very early today. We'll get a little coffee to go through this. Okay. Coffee everywhere. So get that branded. Turn that on. Get that coffee flowing. From the Fjords of Sweden. Yeah, I have my own private Fjord. You know? I go to it 2 to 6 times a year. It's my own private Fjord. You know. I can do whatever I want on the Fjord. It's amazing. It's like my own private Idaho, but my own private Fjord. We got the hazelnut, sugar-free. Put a dash of that in there. So, yeah, they're busing them out. They're busing them out of Ottawa. What do we got here, Access? Oh, I didn't see the link. Okay, I could play the link during this. Yes, sure. Yeah, sashimi. I'll run it through the old matrix. It's green. It's the bird. People are doing some shit. Happening now, New Zealand police are trying to arrest their way out of growing rebellion. Watch the people finally standing up for the tyrant. Against the tyrant. Looks like they're getting their ass kicked. New Zealand or whatever. Ooh, this is where it gets brassy. Like that. Alright, fucking spill a little bit. See? PayPal. Scan to pay. Open your PayPal app. Tap QR code. Scan QR code, confirm payment, enter payment details, confirm transaction, receive your payment confirmation, and you're good to go. PayPal app and account required. So this is, I'm not so sure about this. This is like on the other end. This is the one that I have up is like the other way. I don't want to be giving out my shit like, hey, like use my. Wait, they're gonna fuck up and like, what do you mean? So I shine these QR codes to give money? I'm not so we're gonna fuck up with these QR codes, I'm telling you. We're gonna fuck up, dude. I'm gonna give my $80 to fucking some other person and they found Bob Saget dead from a brain bleed because he had a bruise on his head. There was no signs of foul play, drugs, or alcohol. He could have bumped his head, brushed it off. Bob Saget dead? Huh. He was, yeah, Bobby. They needed Bobby to go. Bobby had a bruise on his head? Okay. The old Saget had a bruise on his head? Saget was involved in all that 80s shit. They got spooked. They're like, Bob, you know too much. Bobby, you know way too much. You guys getting this hemlock smelling at you? Good morning, sauce cans. All right. I'm really happy about this. All right. Where was I? Right here? Why don't you go to Fox? Fox. Ready for a face-off. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, God. New details submerge and surround the death of the comedian Bob Saget. Bob Saget. Ooh, trauma details. Scandals in the crosshair. Drugs are pumped into her fucking body. Bob Saget did some things back in the 80s. Bob Saget cause of death has been revealed exactly 1 month after the star's shocking death. Full House alumni died from head trauma, according to statement from Saget's family and Orange County Medical Examiner's Office. In the weeks Bob Saget has died. Fans are overflowing here, which has been a great comfort to us. We're eternally grateful to the family. Now that we have the final conclusions from authorities' investigation, we felt it only proper that the fans hear those conclusions directly from us. Per the statement citing authorities, Saget accidentally hit the back of his head on something, thought nothing of it, and went to sleep. The statement noted that no drugs or alcohol were involved. Oh, we want you to hear this? As we continue to mourn together, we ask everyone to remember the love and laughter Bob brought to the world. Oh, we had to bump him in the head. Bobby went bumpy. Bob, we need your money. The Orange County Medical Examiner's Office told Fox News that an autopsy was performed. All testing and further studies have been completed. In the consideration of the circumstances surrounding the death after examination of the body, toxicology analyst, histology, and the respiratory pathogen panel, it's my opinion that the death of Mr. Saget was the result of blunt head trauma. His injuries were most likely occurring from an unwitnessed fall. Toxicology analyst did not reveal any illicit drugs or toxins. The manner of death is accident. The statement said, our condolences go out to Mr. Saget's loved ones during this time, very difficult time. Saget was found dead in an Orlando, Florida hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton January 9th. Just hours after posting on Twitter about a show he had performed in Jacksonville. Authorities confirmed that no foul play was suspected at the time. Jan 9. What is it? Jan 9? We're on Feb 10. That was like a month ago. So this was like kept hidden. Saget, they didn't come out right away and say he died? Well, that's weird. I mean, no? What's up with Saget? Loved ones and appreciative audience, the Star Row, and final social media. Thanks again to Real Tim Watkins for opening. I had no idea. I did a 2-hour set tonight. I'm happily addicted to this shit. In addition to his stand-up comedy, hosting America's Funniest Videos, Saget was best known for playing loving patriarch Danny Tanner on Full House, a single parent who teams up with his best friend and his brother-in-law to raise his 3 daughters after the death of his wife. The actor reprised the role a number of times on the show's Netflix follow-up Full House alongside his fellow cast members John Stamos, Dave Collier, Candace Cameron, Burr, Lori Loughlin, and more. Saget is survived by Rizzo and his daughters Aubrey, 34, Laura, 32, and Jennifer, 29, who he shares his ex-wife Sherry Kramer. All right, Sherry. Sherry Kramer, Sherry. Susan said he killed a girl. Hey, really? Shh. Bumped his head, went to bed, didn't wake up in the morning. You guys are operatives. You guys are passing messages, I know it. Oh, I knew it from the first time. What? Give me some more news. What do you got? Tell me what he did. What, Bob Saget did? Don't just say shit like that. You want me to research it? What? Is that what you want me to do? Bob Saget killing someone? You want that in my computer? Tell me the facts. You put that in your computer. Who'd he kill? At least give me a name. Give me a name, please. Is this at the bottom? You guys done with this picture? I mean, it's nice and everything, but just like Whitney Houston drowned. Oh my God! Do you guys know that one song? It's above the top, over the top, Drake. Install. Oh my God. Security. Install now. Gilbert Godfrey? Yeah, there's some funny shit right there. Hold on. Damn it. I wanted my phone for to do some technology shit. Darn it, and darn it. Matrix baby nods of the real. They're growing babies. Red alert shortcut. Kiefer Sutherland. Oh man, are they growing babies, man? See Kiefer, he put it in that thing like that, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it. See how you do it? That's how you do it. Let's just make sure his shit is clean. It's clean. Hold on. This is the one that was to pan upon the bar. Go to the shorty. Did you go to Z-Hedge? Because I was already on there. I was a YouTuber. I cut through the Matrix courts. Hold on. See how you bust through? Oh, it's a must-see.
The Very Real Project believe their new system will be a force.
Hold on, everybody calm down. Ready?
For good, that'll help to boost.
I start with Canopy and I end with Canopy every day. I'm James Fontenberry. I'm the CEO and founder of the ATA Group.
China's population. So let's not address the low birth rate. Because, why it would happen. It just suddenly is happening, folks. It's just suddenly happening. The low birth rate. Nothing could be causing it. It's just something in the wind going on. We all know exactly why there's a low birth rate and why men and women aren't able to procreate, why they have to go through things like IVF and other things to try to have children because they can't have them because, well, there's certain things and certain products that are making men unable to produce strong enough. You know what?
You need strong sperm. You need to pump it into them. Hardcore. Pump the sperm into them. Hard.
Same with the women and their eggs. The team...
You need to flood the eggs. Flood the eggs.
From the Institute of Biomedical Engineering and Technology in China's Eastern Province designed the robot to constantly monitor and care for human embryos by adjusting the nutrition, carbon dioxide, and other important factors in the artificial embryos. So that's the word underlined. Let's just take a look at the word artificial. It's not real. So these won't even be real babies, right? Interesting, too, that the population's so low and they want to push parents, or women, I should say, into going to planned you-know-what. Maybe if we didn't have that, then we'd have more kids and the population wouldn't be a problem. But it's funny how they're looking at it saying the population's too low all of a sudden. Because all we've heard about is how the population's too high. Interesting. Just another way to transition into this embryonic development and biomedical engineering, right? And of course, you know how it's going to be marketed as well for other people out there. They'll tell you you could pre-select the gender of your child. Ooh, I can. Yes. You could pre-select the gender. If you're a man and a man, you could just have the child, right? If you're it'll just be perfect. You could just already see how it'll be marketed. Roll out Taylor Swift and the other celebrities.
So this is a crime against humanity here. A call for an uprising. Guys, this is a call for an uprising.
And suddenly we have a world where we're having, biomedical engineering making babies out of pods. They say in their paper research,
I remember the pods. Pods are everywhere. To get on them, to fucking travel, to fucking everything is pods.
The researchers say their system could help to uncover many unsolved mysteries about the physiology of typical human embryonic development. What's more, it could also provide a theoretical basis for solving birth defects and other major reproductive health problems. Well, of course they'll market it that way. You don't have to worry about birth defects, right? The baby will be perfect. It'll be transhuman. It'll almost be like a robot. Oh, wait, it will be, because it won't be a real human, just like what we're seeing happen now with altering DNA. What more can I say? You saw the horror story for yourself. You have Elon Musk and these people talking about it, of course.
Hey, Elon Musk lost those 40 dark satellites. They're not in dark orbit, okay? That's a conspiracy theory. Tiffany's talking about manginas. A mangina's over here. Teased by a wolf, human kids raised by cyborgs. Hey, this is really taking a flight off the road here. I got such a good video. Stand by. Oh God. YouTube requires that I indicate that some of my opinions in this video contradict the consensus medical opinion about COVID-19. Is that a YouTube link, Sherelle? Is that a fucking YouTube link that I see? Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. Copy. Go here, go shorten. No, it's fine. I'll do it. Fuck. Paste. Shorten. Shorten. Copy. Paste. Right under hers. Alrighty. So you go here and then let's go paste it. See what it is. It's green.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
She collapses.
So nice. So nice. So nice.
She takes a dive, fractures a skull during a set in Tempe. Comedian Heather McDonald shatters her skull fracture from the fall. I didn't do it for a publicity. I would not give up to practically sold out shows to meet and greets. My head does not feel good. Fucking, I'm an idiot. Oh my God. Oh my God. She fell and really banged her head. Let's watch that again.
A recent study you may not have yet seen.
No. Go back to the fall.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes!
Wait. She really falls. She fucking really falls. This isn't a joke. I thought, oh my God.
Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
Wait a minute. The star was set to perform back-to-back shows when she collapsed. Wait, that wasn't done on purpose. She shattered her fucking skull. I've never fainted in my life. Phoenix NBC outlet says she may have lost consciousness because of dehydration, suffering a skull fracture. I'm just grateful, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Are you serious? She's really doing it. Give me the funny one of Joe Rogan, the Biden one. Bob Saget syndrome. Wow. Are you guys getting everything? She went down. Let me get the fall. Right here, right as she's falling. Let's go right here. Hold on. I gotta piss. Let me go to the improv right here. Alright, capture the flag. Let's import it into the sauce can itself. OBS Ninja. Ninja. Woo. Now it's in there, at least. So you just go capture the flag this way. So let's check her out as she's about to faint. Dude, this chick fucking really fainted. She's like, I'm double vaxxed. Oh my God, you guys, that's fucking hilarious. Not really. I mean, it's scary, but look at her. All right. Yeah, she's going down. Tiffany's like, I can't link now. Yeah, I took away your shit. You weren't acting like a good moderator. I take people. I yanked your freaking YouTube wrench because you weren't acting appropriate.
When did these people gain power? When did Elon Musk and Bill? Oh, because they have money? Well, they're only one person, these individuals. And there's all of us. When do we say that this stuff needs to be regulated? Oh, never? I don't think so. At what point do we say we're letting these psychopaths with billions of dollars, the elites, of course, dictate what our future should be? How we need a great reset, right? And then all this stuff goes down. How we need technology to be inside of us. Oh, is that what we need or is that what they want? Oh, the answer is that's what they want. And this is right in line with that. And this is enough to make everybody want to throw up on themselves. Reminder, check out the website at callforanuprising.com.
Call for an uprising.
Check it out if you haven't.
Hey, bud. This is a call for a couple things. That was a call for an uprising. All right, so we also have, what is it, Joey Buttafuoco? No, we got Bob Saget. Sketchy details of death, huh? Bob Saget. Let's go to the Full Monty and see what the Full Monty has to say. Brace for a face-off. Oh, Joe Biden's back with a face mask. Joe Biden's back, and he's back with a face mask. It's black. It's a black face mask. Joe Rogan addresses Spotify scandal. Why don't you address it, Joe? Come up here. Come up on the stage and we'll address it. Give me a video. Yes. Give me this video. We got a flash. Fox News flash. Oh, jeez. This doesn't sound good here. No. Something's up with the flash. No. Fox's little flash players suck. What's up with your flashy? Here it comes. Is this it? It's probably not going to even be about what I even talked about. Let's go, Flash. Shh. Something went wrong, terribly wrong. Oh man, now I'm in a hemlock. General, contact us, and how can I contact Fox News? Wait a minute. News, Fox, what did you do? I want to contact you about your weird habits of sharing videos and stuff. Why don't you contact me? I'll come work over for you there, over at Fox News, eh? I'll come work over at your Fox News, eh? Look at this. What is this about? Pharma guards saving pharma sales representatives inside Parliament House.
All right, Auckland. This is Casey's mom, Anna.
No one helps them. They don't get ACC. They don't get help. They don't get help at the hospital.
Hey, have some respect.
These are the girls that go along with the little suitcase. Get you addicted to OxyContin, huh? Shit's coming back. The chickens are coming home to roost. What?
Read or listen. Some basic respect.
Another fucking jab. This is real. My heart's broken on a daily, and I would hate one of you to call it free. Please help. Like all of these are. Like we're begging you for help right now. Join our side. Fight the right fight. Before one of you or your loved ones is harmed like mine. Any others that I'm speaking to.
These will never, ever.
Alright, that seems fair. I'm gonna make some grits. I'm making some grits. Hold up. Alright, you get the water boiling. And then you get the grits, and then I'll just come over with the water boils. Get the milk here. You got the butter. You got the milk, you got the butter. You got the grits. The cream of wheat. Yeah, cream of wheat. Like that. And then you get a spoon. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So they're doing things in Parliament. I knew it. Doesn't cream of wheat sound so good? Joe Rogan was hilarious. Twitter, Australia's 50 arrests. Hold on. Let's see about it. I'm going to cook up grits. I'm cooking up grits. I need something to get me going here. Oh, is that the one that I just played? Oh, come on. We need to be faster than that. You're going to hear the same shit for another 2 minutes. Maybe just another link. Instagram, yeah? It seems like it's boiling. I'm going to make some grits. Yeah, I need to log in and everything. It's not, I don't do that. Elon Musk. I got to make my grits. Here, let's make this right here. Okay, I'm just cooking up some grits. They get you fueled up, you know? You gotta put the water on boil, and then put the sugar in the water, and get the nutrients and everything out of the sugar. And then you put the grits in the boiling sugar water. That's how you do it. You put the boiling sugar water grits in there, and then you stir. And then you stir all the sugar in because there's no sweeteners in the grits. And then you stir the grits. And you stir all the water out of the grits. And then you get a little container to put in. Maybe like something like, I don't know, something like this right here. Yeah, a good container like this right here. Yes, sir. And then you pour this grit right here. Oh, it's hot as shit. Yeah, right there. And then, while it's still hot as shit, you take a little butter. Uh-oh, that just went on the floor. Son of a bitch. Take a little butter, jam it in there, so it's because it's all hot. Jam it in there. Oh, and then add a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. Okay, now you jam it in there. Now you pour the milk right in there and let it marinate with the butter. Okay. And then the thing that you cook the grits in, you gotta put in water because it sticks. The grits stick. Yes. And then you got grits. And these things will stick to the ribs. You got the grits right here. Oh my God. All right, John Askew, let's go to a freaking video right now. I want my grits. Sky News. Everyone just calm down. These grits are amazing. Tweets. We have tweets.
And suffering at this moment. Most of all, I want to acknowledge the children who are terrified and suffering at this moment, and the many people for whom this legislation comes too late. The women who have suffered through this system with little or no support, who still carry the pain and trauma of their abuse, the young adults who have survived abuse and emerged stronger, not because of the child protective system, but despite it, and the women and children who have died, who could have been saved. Most of all, I want to acknowledge the children who are terrified and suffering at this moment, and the many people for whom this legislation comes too late. The women who have suffered through this system with little or no support.
This is Angelina Jolie delivering emotional speech as U.S. politicians attempt to renew the Violence Against Women Act after it lapsed due to political opposition.
Who still carry the pain and trauma of their abuse. The young adults who have survived abuse and emerged stronger, not because of the child protective system, but despite it, and the women and children who have died, who could have been saved.
Okay. All right. Do we have anything else here? Tiffany, you don't have any links. Green one right here. Oh, we already hit this one. We already hit that one. See? Somebody left me a YouTube link and it just went oops and I have to restart it. Whatever. Pop out. Yesterday, explosion at factory in Orange County. Really? Hold on. Okay. So go like this. Okay. So there you are. So get rid of all these then. Get rid of the Twitters and... Alright. Send me the one. What did you want? Yeah. Alright, send me this one that you said. Good, send me it. Linking up. Parallax now. 8 DC schools targeted by Wednesday bomb threats. I told you they're going for DC. They knew it. They saw the truckers coming. And this is how they could plan. There's no video for this. I don't know. What's so funny, Tiffany? I can't get into Instagram. Like, I'm not logged in here or whatever. What? Emerald Fire erupts in Laguna Beach. Evacuation. 2 hours ago this broke. Live. Local news.
Yeah, I know. It's also the name of...
All right, here it goes. When's this gonna go, dude? Whatever. PCH was engulfed. All right, let me see the fucking video. Police department, blah, blah, blah. Jones, are you on? I'm putting somebody on. Just 1 second. Go to fucking Harrison Smith or whatever this fucking guy's name is. Go to the Shaolin Monk. Fucking go to somewhere. Yeah. Oh my god. Go. Come on, let's do it. Together. Oh my god. It's advertisement hell.
Oh, hello, stupid. I mean, hello, smart Americans. Do not visit our video. Do not share videos. And do not support their sponsor.
That's racist. It's racist.
Shut down the website.
That's racist. It's in slow mode? Why is it in slow mode? Alright, I gotta go for a second. Just fucking... Here, it's on. It's on, it's on, it's on. It's on, go. Go this way. Refresh. Go. It's good, it's good, it's good. It's good.
Oh, hello, stupid. Hello, smart Americans. Do not disband our video. Do not share videos. And do not support our sponsor, InfoWarsStore.com. Do not get the products. Shut down the website. Ah, good.
I don't hear it. Damn. It's that chick on. It's not working.
Oh, hello, stupid. Hello, smart Americans. Do not disband our video.
All right, go.
Do not share.
Where's this go? It's not loading. Unbelievable. Sorry for leaving everyone in the dark. But that was just necessary protocol. That was it's not playing anyway. Sometimes you have to walk away from the stream, and that was like one of those moments right there. You guys are all good. I haven't had the bomb threat video wasn't. I found it. 1 second, please.
News Jump Cloud. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you a message from the President of the United States.
My fellow Jamaicans, our nation is in crisis. The Decepticon variant Hobo 19 is still killing fat people. Inflation is destroying our fart jars, and now that Ukraine is being sexually raped. That is why I've asked Congress to order a full-scale attack on Joe Rogan. Not Joe Rogan, the Russian guy. The guy with the shirt. Pootie Tang, man. Bad dude. We gotta come together, man. Get this guy. He's got our cranes. He's got all the cranes. We need for the better build back. The build back better. The better build back better plan, man. You say it 3 times fast, pal. You say it. God, piece of shit guy over here. Anyway, let's start the show.
I shoot my show alone in my house.
Perfect. All right, give him some green screen. Yeah, now pull back. Now let me enter from space.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson.
Fuck you, Tucker. Don't take my spot. Tucker's trying to get in on my fucking thing. No. I make mine from my house. All right, Tucker, what do you have to say for ourselves? Are we collapsing in real time?
Tonight, we want to begin by noting something obvious because this is the obvious show. If you live in the United States, you may have noticed that many of our public spaces have become permanent homeless encampments. You see trash-filled tents blotting out what were once green and tidy public parks. You step over vagrants drooling unconscious on the steps of train stations on the way to work.
Oh my God.
You watch as junkies smoke meth without any embarrassment at all and then yell at pedestrians on the sidewalk, maybe at your children. Everywhere, at every intersection, there are beggars. It's what we used to imagine India was like, but this is not Calcutta. This is New York and San Francisco and Austin, Texas. So the question is, what happened? And the short answer is, our leaders did this. No matter what they tell you, homelessness is not an act of God. It's not the result of economic collapse in this country. America did not run out of housing. Instead, a determined group of well-funded ideologues decided to make it easier to live on the streets in this country while doing drugs. Therefore, many more people now live on the streets while doing drugs. See? Not complicated. In 2005, an unemployed alcoholic called Basil Humphrey enrolled in a rehab program in Boise, Idaho. When Humphrey refused to stop drinking, the rescue mission kicked him out. Those were the rules, and he spent months sleeping outside, as so many do. Eventually, local authorities ticketed him for camping on public property. That was the law. The story would have ended there, except that a huge corporate law firm in New York City called Latham & Watkins took an interest in the case on the other side of the country. Now, typically, Latham & Watkins represents Wall Street banks and prominent Democratic office holders. But the firm wanted to change vagrancy laws to increase homelessness. Why did they want that? We don't know. But the firm filed a lawsuit on Basil Humphrey's behalf against the city of Boise. That suit made it to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. In 2018, the court declared that cities have no right to criminalize homelessness. In fact, the court ruled cities have an obligation to provide free housing to the homeless at public expense. The Supreme Court later upheld that ruling. The case was known as Martin versus Boise, and it had exactly the effect that Latham & Watkins intended. City officials across the country no longer had an obligation to protect the public and public spaces from drug addicts who decided to live in them. At the same time, politicians suddenly had access to a massive new source of cash. Taxpayer money, many billions in taxpayer money,
for something called homelessness prevention. Now, what is homelessness prevention? Well, of course, it's the opposite of what they call it, as always. Here's Seattle's interpretation of homelessness prevention.
A handful of Seattle's more than 12,000 homeless will soon be going from the street to a new apartment with stunning views of the Space Needle and Puget Sound. Using part of its share of the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, the city bought 3 brand new apartment buildings for $50 million for 165 homeless, a price of $300,000 per unit. In Los Angeles, Skid Row is about to get a new neighbor, a 19-story high-rise for homeless, costing taxpayers $160 million or $580,000 per unit. They're part of an expensive push to get the homeless off of sidewalks and out of city parks and into government-subsidized housing, even if it means buying new buildings at market rate from developers.
What? Oh, stunning views of the Space Needle and Puget Sound. Do you have one of those? Well, crackheads do. More than $500,000 per apartment to house drug addicts at public expense, at market rates. So you can see why real estate developers would strongly support a program like that, and of course they strongly do. But luxury apartments are just the beginning. Seattle's most recent municipal budget allocates more than $150 million to other so-called homelessness programs, just this year. Now keep in mind, Seattle has fewer than 750,000 people living there. So that's an awful lot of money per bum. It's certainly a lot more than anyone else is getting in Seattle. At the same time it was giving overpriced condos to drug addicts with stunning views of Puget Sound, Seattle allocated just $10 million total for its small business stabilization fund designed to keep family businesses from going bankrupt during the COVID lockdowns. So the city's priorities could not be clearer than that. You lavish money on the least productive, most antisocial parasites in our society, and then you punish Americans who work for a living. Got it? And it's hardly just Seattle. The latest city budget in San Francisco proposes spending $667 million on something called the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. And yet, at the very same time, San Francisco's Department of Children, Youth, and Families gets less than half that amount. A city program designed to help low-income families pay college tuition gets just $16 million total. That's about 2% of what the homeless get. So in San Francisco, it makes sense. In fact, it pays to get high on the sidewalk. Don't bother to get an education, nobody cares. That's the message from the city. Couldn't be clearer. In Austin, Texas, the city's budget for homelessness assistance was $68 million last year. At the very same time, the city of Austin spent just $3.5 million in new loans for struggling small businesses, and only $7 million for, quote, mission-critical infrastructure and deferred maintenance at city facilities, like the things that matter. And at the same time as this was going on, the police department in the city of Austin got an $11 million budget cut. So what happened to the homelessness in Austin, the problem they were trying to, quote, solve? Well, to no one's surprise, it has grown by 10% in just 2 years. You get what you pay for. When you pay for homelessness, you get a lot more of it. See how that works? In Los Angeles, politicians have spent billions, quote, fighting homelessness. This has been accompanied, of course, by a massive increase in the number of people who are homeless. 4 years ago, the city spent $440 million on what it called solutions to homelessness. That was supposed to fix the problem. Did it? Homelessness in Los Angeles jumped 15% just last year. So this year, LA will spend more, close to $1 billion on the homeless in 2022. As for the small businesses crushed by the city's lunatic COVID restrictions, you ask, what'll they get? Well, they get $62 million total. The city's gang reduction program gets about half that. So politicians in Los Angeles are, at the very least, very clear about their priorities. What has this done to LA? We don't have to look far to see the answer to that. Last week, a homeless man walked into a furniture store on the west side of Los Angeles and murdered a graduate student who was working alone there. He stabbed her to death for no apparent reason and then walked out. He's still at large. She was 24, now she's dead. Today, her father told Fox and Friends that he holds city officials responsible for the killing. Watch.
What's endemic in our society right now is that everybody seems to be oriented on giving back rights and bestowing favor on people that rob others of their rights. We should be celebrating the good in people and trying to recognize that that's the job.
We're gonna go back to this. There's things right here. The trucker protests on Super Bowls. Super Bowl tickets are $11,000. Hold on, we got green. We're gonna switch it up for a second. Hold on, just 1 second, please. Yahoo News: the DHS warns that trucker protests in the United States could begin on Super Bowl Sunday. Truck protest jams up Detroit to Canadian Bridge. Is this a video I can play, bro? All right, take this picture. Go to Ninja. And Ninja this thing in there. That, and then basically go down with it. Okay. Okay, what's this one? The Super Bowl tickets? Gemini and the End of the World.
I discovered the 8 immortal kings of Samaria lived a total of 241,200 years.
This is a 2-hour documentary. Yeah, I'll wait, but that's a little too much. What's the $11,000 Yahoo? Go to that. How's the price of a Super Bowl ticket has skyrocketed? You want to put that into the editor? Sure, you can go. Do it. Put it inside there, boy. Put it inside, yeah. Show them the tickets right there. You see them tickets? Okay. So it says right here how the price of a Super Bowl ticket has skyrocketed. The average ticket to Super Bowl LVI at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles was selling for $10,237 as of February 1st, USA Today reported. That was more than double the average from the same time just 1 year earlier during the running up to the Super Bowl LV. That had been the most expensive Super Bowl ever. A ticket to the biggest annual event in American sports and television was not always exclusive only to the richest people and companies in the world. In fact, things didn't really start getting outrageous until 10 years ago or so. Even when adjusted for inflation, the Super Bowl tickets cost less than $100 in today's money throughout most of the 70s, according to the Sporting News. The average ticket cost less than $200 in today's money through most of the 80s and less than $500 in the 90s. In fact, the average ticket to the Super Bowl didn't breach $1,000 again, adjusted for inflation in today's dollars until 2008. So it's when Obama came. It stayed under $2,000 until 2015. 7 years later, it got broken into 5 figures. Needless to say, it's very, very expensive. Super Bowl has been sold in the last few years because the most expensive ticket from just a few years ago might not be enough to get you into the tailgate party today. $85,000 to see Brady's last hurrah. January 2021, the Buccaneers were gearing up to take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, where the Buccaneers would become the first team in history to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. The Rams will become the second this year. Guys, I'm so excited. Oh, guys, come on with me. Aren't you excited? Darn it. Entertainment propaganda, January 6th. Guy says he was he was in a cult, demonizes Trump. Twitter, again, the status is here. Boom, we got it. New Zealanders are arrested, buck naked. Oh, buck. I'm the buck you're looking for. KK fucking Levine is here. Oh, jeez. Those energy pills are hellish when you burp them up. All right. Yeah, the Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Yeah, really, Jen. Now, those tickets look real crazy, like the Giants. They got Giants on the front of them, Super Bowl tickets. John Hopkins confirmed PCR swab test can vaccinate you. Hey, guys. Guys. I'm just going to play with my robot. You go F yourself. I make my time for my robot. It's me and my robot. Just how one man just used his phone to just stay on it day after day. In the Matrix. Okay. He made all kinds of blog posts. He started an Instagram. He was on, he was selling his photos on Shutterstock. He was doing things. It's for you, Tiff. January 6th. Hey, everybody, come down. Robot. Robot. Remember? Play Drake Over the Top.
Touch to select an app from the list.
You got it, girl. Oh, right here.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google with our flexible
Johnny.
Only pay for the data you use. Down.
Oh. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, I love that song. That song gets me pumped up. Shit. How much are the swabs? Oh, let's talk about swabs. Gosh, if I could just talk about swabs, I'd be really just happy. Fire erupts at a Bank of France money printing factory. Fire erupts at a money printing factory.
I don't know, Papa.
You all have your responsibilities. Now get to work. Mom needs a new job.
Yeah, so I was just trying to gauge your interest in an amazing
experience,
resume, education, apply.
Your job search doesn't have to become your family's 9 to 5. Put ZipRecruiter to work for you.
Joining us now is former National Security Advisor to Vice President Mike Pence, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. General Kellogg, thank you for joining us. Do you think Iran will become nuclear capable? And if so, what happens then?
Yeah, thanks, Trey. Thanks for having me tonight. Yep, they're on their way. I think you're going to see a nuclear breakout. And what I mean by a breakout, they're going to have enough enriched uranium to produce a nuclear weapon easily within the year. They're currently producing enrichment about 60 to 70%, 90% gets weapons grade. They admit doing it, and there's no way we're going to stop it. Look, it's a fool's errand to try to get them back into the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal. Once we started lifting sanctions, we just lifted another one on called CivNuke, which means now that third parties and other countries can actually help them develop their nuclear capability. And Ali Shamkhani, who's their chief of staff in the National Security Council, said nobody has the right to tell us to do what we want to do with nuclear development, and either peaceful or what concerned me was the word he used, or security means. So they're heading that way. The Israelis are correct. We ought to be thinking right now, what do we do when they do have a breakout? Because it's going to destabilize the Middle East.
All right, I want to go around the globe with you. What do you make of this agreement, this no limits agreement between Russia and China?
Yeah, it was a smart move on Putin's part. What he did is he protected his flank primarily against sanctions. He just made a deal with the world's second largest economy. So he's got his economic side pretty well buttoned up. And he's also got himself buttoned up within the Security Council of the UN, because now there are two members of the UN, both Russia and China, that can veto anything that happens in the Security Council. And he's caused a tremendous disunion within, I believe, within the world by pushing, and we mean the Chinese, by pushing that arrangement and that agreement. Putin's played it masterfully.
I want to play a clip for you that includes some perspective from a U.S. senator who happens to be on the Intelligence Committee, and get you to react on the other side.
Right. We are in the window. Any day now, Russia could take military action against Ukraine, or it could be a couple of weeks from now, or Russia could choose to take the diplomatic path instead. The key thing is that the United States needs to be and is prepared for any of those contingencies in lockstep with our allies and partners.
This is the single greatest threat Europe has faced since the 1940s. If we now live in a world where you can just go in and take a country because you claim it or parts of it belong to you, and you can do so militarily, well, we've entered a very dangerous period in human history once again.
General, I want to be clear. Marco Rubio is not in the group of politicians who is equivocating on what the U.S.'s position should be, but I really never thought I would hear U.S. politicians and or conservative commentators kind of equivocating on whether the U.S. should side with Ukraine if Russia invades it. I mean, am I missing something? I would have thought that would have been an easy decision for us.
Well, this is a decision that should have made long ago. Look, Ukraine's not a NATO country, so they don't fall under Article 5, which is an attack on one, attack on all. Look, I think Putin's head for a culmination point. He's arrayed his forces, and he's got enough forces to do what he wants to do in Ukraine. He's got them in Belarus. He's got them to the northwest. He's got them to the north, the northeast, the east, and the south. And all of them are top flight units. These are the units that you want to have if you're a Russian commander to go into a fight. He's also shored himself up on the diplomatic side, which I've talked about what's happening with China, but he's also shored himself up with a lot of our NATO allies. You know, just the other day, you had the Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, go to Moscow, and they talked about an energy deal. This week, you're going to have President Macron of France go to Kiev and also into Moscow to talk about it. So they're kind of fragmenting the alliance. And the other thing that he has done, and which is pretty interesting to me, is he's now on this public television that he's got, the radios, Russia Radio and Russia TV. They're now talking about Ukraine, now the danger is imminent, and they're going to do something. So he's kind of set himself up to do what he wants to do. I'm hoping there's still an ability to have some type of diplomatic way out of it. But if you want to know the truth, Trey, I don't see how he's going to do it. I don't see how he backs down. His biggest issue was he did not want Ukraine to be part of NATO. And we could have handled that a year or 2 years ago, and we should have been able to do it. You know, the other issue that bothers me is that President Biden has not been involved that much. President Trump would pick up the phone and call anybody at any time. He had over 18 phone calls with Putin, and he would always try to tamp things down. He would always try to say, let's walk our way through this, diplomatic, talk our way through it. That isn't being done. You know, you've got Macron talking to Tony Blinken today. Macron should be talking to President Biden, and he's not doing that. So I think we've got a real problem diplomatically, and I think he's set to go. And if I was a betting guy, I'd say, in all probability, he's going to go in the near term.
General, thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for loaning us your expertise and perspective tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Attention commercial property owners. Do you own or manage a building with an old flat roof that won't stop leaking whenever it rains? This may be the most important video you see today. Flat roofs can be a pain. They're prone to cracking and leaking and expensive to replace when they go bad. But what if you could solve your flat roof problems for good with a silicone membrane roof coating that's 100% tax deductible? That's right. Typically, roof repairs or full replacement would be paid.
Now I'm playing info, trying to scan every
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson's Night. Happy Tuesday. We're going to take you back about a year and a few months to the day America changed. You may not have noticed it at the time, but this really was the pivot point. It was the height of the BLM riots early last summer, and rioters in Minneapolis had just torched a bunch of different buildings, and standing right in front of them was an MSNBC reporter who was broadcasting live from the scene. Now, the mob began by torching small businesses all through the city, including a liquor store, which, of course, they looted first, naturally. Then, as the rioting accelerated, they walked down the street and burned down the 3rd Precinct Police Station, the Minneapolis Police Station. Now, as you saw that happen, you realize, ooh, this is a little different from anything we've seen before. We've seen riots before. In 1992, following the Rodney King verdict, rioters in Los Angeles torched a lot of the middle of that city. But they didn't burn any police stations, because you can't burn a police station because there are police there. And they're armed, and they represent the law. They enforce the law. So you can't burn down a police station, because if they let you do that, then you know the whole system has crumbled. And yet that's exactly what happened just days into the BLM hysteria last summer. A police station was burning. And the implication of that was very clear. This is why we don't allow police stations to get burned, because the message it sends is this: the police can't protect you. They can't even protect themselves. So the police aren't in charge. Legitimate authority is gone. The mob is now in charge. So as this is happening, there happens to be, as noted, a reporter standing right there with a microphone and a camera taking those pictures directly into your living room. That reporter was called Ali Velshi. Now, he's famously not super bright, but he was on the scene. Watch how he described what was happening right behind him.
The fire engines can't get in here. There is no ability to bring anybody in here to solve this problem. So I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly.
It's the greatest tape ever. You've probably seen it 100 times. We watch it every morning just for edification. It's mostly a protest, he said. Flames in the background. It's generally speaking not unruly, while standing in front of a burning building. So that tape, as we just said, is very famous. And a lot of people look at that and they say, that reporter is a moron, which of course is true. He couldn't even describe what he was seeing accurately. What?
Let me show you a screenshot.
What a gaffe! But it wasn't a gaffe. It was not taken out of context. In fact, it was MSNBC's explicit editorial policy to lie about what you were watching live, to characterize violent riots as peaceful protests. And it wasn't just Ali Velshi. That very day, probably the oiliest of all MSNBC anchors, a character called Craig Melvin, explained the network's approach to the story. And we're quoting, "This will guide our reporting in Minnesota. While the situation on the ground in Minneapolis is fluid and there has been violence, it is most accurate at this time to describe what is happening there as protests, not riots." Paging Dr. Orwell, not riots. Oh, they're not riots. The one thing these things aren't when they're torching the police station and looting a liquor store, they're not riots. Oh, not at all. But MSNBC was not an outlier in adopting this policy of reality denial. Here's what CNN's coverage looked like at the time.
And let's not forget, if anyone is judging this, I'm not judging this. I'm just wondering what is going on. Our country was started because this is how the Boston Tea Party, rioting. So do not get it twisted and think that, oh, this is something that has never happened before, and then this.
Wait a minute.
This is so terrible, and where are we, and these savages and all of that. This is how this country was started.
Yeah, this is totally normal. We've been dealing with this for hundreds of years. Sam Adams himself torched a Wendy's and looted a liquor store before burning down a police station in downtown Minneapolis. This is how this country started. We've always had riots and looting virtually every day. It's totally normal. So your job as a viewer, per CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, The Atlantic, The Washington Post, all the rest of them, was to remain calm, acknowledge that this is just the way things are, this is the way they have always been, and accept it. The country your ancestors built is on fire, but shut up, because your ancestors also burned it down.
This is called a snap-in denture or an overdenture. This is on the upper jaw, and I can just...
Now, that's not true. In fact, it's grotesquely untrue. You have to be historically literate to believe it. Many people are, unfortunately. But it worked, because propaganda does. That's why they do it. So instead of pushing back against this rioting, most Americans kind of went along with it. Well, it doesn't look quite right to me, but this is how our country started. That's what Don Lemon said, so I'm going to kind of go along with it. In other words, as your quality of life declines, you are instructed not to notice. And this trend has continued. The Washington Post just ran this headline, and we're quoting, "Don't rant about short-staffed stores and supply chain woes. Rather than, quote, living constantly on the verge of throwing a fit, We do ourselves a favor by consciously lowering expectations. Got that? So if you don't like the fact that the shelves are bare in your local store, don't throw a fit, don't be an entitled little tool. Lower your expectations. What did you expect in America? Come on. Bread lines. We've always had bread lines. It's sort of charmingly retro, these bread lines. Don't complain as your life becomes worse and as your country degrades. That's the message, and not surprisingly, that message is coming directly from the people who are making your life worse and destroying the country. That, of course, would be the White House. Here's his grouchy little flack today. It's almost impossible to believe this person is real and not just some sort of mock-up of like a Wesleyan gender studies student. Apparently she is real. And today she was asked about these supply chain problems. Like, our ports are shut down. What do we do? Watch as she mocks the reporter's question. How dare you ask? Watch this.
Just a question on the timing on the supply chain issue, actions that the president has taken. It was clear in March of 2020 when COVID hit that the supply chains across the world had been disrupted. Even as the sort of work to fight back against COVID proceeded, it was crystal clear that things were not improving on supply chain. People couldn't get dishwashers and furniture and treadmills delivered on time, not to mention all sorts of other things. So why is
the tragedy of the treadmill that's delayed?
Right, the problem. But the serious point is, why didn't the president act sooner in a more aggressive way?
Were you complaining about not having a treadmill? Settle down, Karen. What do you want to exercise? You've got Netflix and weed. Shut up. Get back to your cube. Be happy. Lower your expectations. And if you do go outside, if you notice the Walgreens is, for example, closed, and so is the CVS, because everything in there has been stolen by thieves who have now been redefined as civil rights protesters, stop complaining, Karen. It's always been this way. Now, San Francisco has very few Walgreens left because they've all been looted by civil rights protesters. But that's not a problem, according to the mayor of San Francisco. In fact, as she explains in this amazing piece of tape, it's really Walgreens' fault.
Ultimately, they've made their decision. We have tried to work with them in order to ensure that we are covered in terms of having pharmacies all across the city. This is going to, of course, impact a lot of our neighborhoods. But I wouldn't go as far as to say they can't do business. They still have a lot of stores. Everywhere you look, almost every corner, you'll see a Walgreens. And some of these stores are not just closing because of retail theft. They're closing because they're not necessarily bringing in the sales that they once did. So I don't want to attribute that completely to just retail theft.
So you're sort of tempted to say, well, if you elect a mayor that dumb, then you kind of deserve what you get. But the truth is, not everybody in San Francisco voted for London Breed despite her alluring name. They don't deserve this. No one deserves this. The truth is, you shouldn't have daily looting in American cities because it's a first world country. This isn't some third world hellhole. This is, once again, the country that our ancestors built. It's a great country. It's a clean country. It's an orderly country. People don't steal. You're not allowed to steal. Okay? Period. But all of a sudden, you can steal, and our leaders are telling you, you've always been able to steal. It's okay. You bring your kids to school, and, oh, wait a second, there are junkies living in tents right across from your kid's school. Well, they've always been there, too. They were there when you were a kid. You just never noticed. Just readjust your expectations. Settle down, Karen. Here's Seattle's mayor, Jenny Durkin, explaining that children are just going to have to deal with the junkies living in tents right next to their school. Here's a local news report from Seattle.
Broadview Thompson is a K-8 public school. Its property includes this greenbelt, which was taken over by dozens of homeless that neighbors say are bringing even more problems.
This morning in my garden, I found an empty packet that had drugs in it.
Despite outrage from neighbors and parents whose kids are just now able to return to their school, 2 Seattle school board members are refusing to let the encampment be cleared. Mayor Jenny Durkin decided not to intervene, claiming the public school property is private property and off limits without an invitation.
Yeah, so the one thing you can't do is expel the junkies, not the homeless. Homeless makes it sound like some sort of protected class of protesters. No, they're junkies. They're people shooting up, breaking into cars to support their habit, selling themselves, pimping out women. They're junkies, okay? And they're on your kid's school lawn. But we can't intervene in that because it's always been that way. Just lower expectations, Karen. In New York City, police have just been ordered not to intervene when they see junkies shooting up on the sidewalk or in a park. Can't get in the way, and you shouldn't, because we've always had junkies in our park. Sam Adams was actually smoking meth on the Boston Common once upon a time. In Washington, D.C., the Metro just basically shut down and pulled 60% of its train cars from service. So commuters, the ones who pay for it, are just have to find another way to get to work because the train service isn't working anymore. Police have just been ordered not to intervene when they see junkies shooting up on the sidewalk or in a park. Can't get in the way, and you shouldn't, because we've always had junkies in our park. Sam Adams was actually smoking meth on the Boston Common once upon a time. In Washington, D.C., the Metro just basically shut down and pulled 60% smoking meth on the Boston Common. And you shouldn't, because we've always had junkies in our park. Sam Adams was actually smoking meth on the Boston Common once upon a time. In Washington, D.C., the Metro just basically shut down and pulled 60% of its train cars from service. So commuters, the ones who pay for it, are just have to find another way to get to work because the train service isn't working anymore. Just lower your expectations. In fact, they're lucky. In Philadelphia last week, several people on a train, they got on the train and then they got to watch as a man raped a woman on the train for minutes. Witnesses describe what they saw to Fox 29 in Philadelphia. Here's part of it.
At Upper Darby's 69th Street station, passengers of the Market Frankfurt line are outraged.
The attack was brutal. It was wicked, and the worst part is when the people were watching.
Several people watching, some within arm's length, says Upper Darby's superintendent of police arrested his 35-year-old Fishton Noy, who investigators say is seen on a train security camera sitting next to the alleged victim, touching her, and then raping her. Investigators say a female SEPTA employee called in the attack, which was relayed on radio about the attacker disrobing on a train at 56th Street Station. SEPTA says Noy was arrested at 69th Street Station on the train in the act.
But this has always been the way America works. Remember Kitty Genovese? She was killed and nobody said anything. The difference, though, we were shocked by that 55 years ago when she died. In this case, passengers watched this woman get raped, but they were on their phone. They were online gaming. The police chief of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's Transportation Authority, said that nobody who saw it did anything about it.
Look, did you know there was a government-funded education grant that could deposit up to $38,000?
I can tell you that people were holding their phone up in the direction of this woman being attacked.
And by attack, just to be totally clear, and I hate to use the word, but it's the right word, she was raped in front of all these people, and they did nothing. So how'd this happen? You're always hearing about root causes. What were the root causes of this rape? Well, we can tell you tonight that the 35-year-old Congolese man who apparently raped this woman, his name is Fiston Ngoy, has a criminal record and shouldn't have been here in the first place. He was on an overstayed student visa. He should have been deported. This should never have happened. He should not have been here, and the only reason he was is because he and a lot of people like him have been invited here and allowed to stay by the people who run the country, but who don't ride the train. This particular man first came to the United States in 2012. He was on a student visa. Now, that visa ended in 2015 because he was no longer a student. Court records show that Ngoy racked up, quote, multiple arrests and 2 misdemeanor convictions, one for controlled substances and one for sexual abuse. Okay, so here's someone in the country illegally who is convicted of sexual abuse and drugs, but he's still here. So why aren't the people who allowed him to remain here in jail themselves? They certainly should be. Now, this guy was put into immigration detention back in January of 2018, but he never got deported because the immigration legal system decided that he should receive a special stay of removal. Oh, so he got what's called a withholding of removal from an immigration judge 2 years ago, back in 2019. According to court documents, that decision came after, quote, the Board of Immigration Appeals found that the petitioner's misdemeanor sex offense was not a, quote, serious crime, just a minor sex offense, and therefore he was ineligible for withholding from removal. So to recap, you can walk into our country at the invitation of our leaders at public expense. You can overstay your visa and in so doing mock our laws. Then you can get busted for drugs and a sex crime, not deported, allowed to stay, and then you'll go on probably inevitably at this point, to rape a woman on a train in full view of a crowd that does nothing to stop it. But it's always been this way. Don't get uptight. Readjust your expectations. You want more of this? We may be getting it. Today, Joe Biden's nominee to lead the Border Patrol, a guy called Chris Magnus, sat for his confirmation hearings. Now, it turns out that Magnus, if anything, is to the left of Biden, even to the left of Barack Obama on immigration matters. Just a year ago, when he was the police chief of Tucson, Arizona, Magnus rejected a federal grant that was part of a program called Operation Stone Garden that was supported by the Obama administration. Now, the point of the program was to help border towns fight cartel violence and drug trafficking. That would seem a worthy goal, not really directly related to immigration, directly related to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans. But Chris Magnus, in his wisdom, rejected that money. His own police department was outraged by this, but Chris Magnus didn't care because he's a deeply good person, unlike you. He's happy to abet the deaths of thousands of Americans by drug ODs. He said that this money and this mission, stopping drug cartels, didn't align with the work he's doing. That work, of course, is opening our country's borders. So here you have the person who's about to oversee our country's border security who does not believe in borders. Now, if that bothers you in any way, if you think we should be deporting rapists instead of letting them rape women on trains, then the White House has a very clear message for you. Shut up, Karen. Stop complaining. Those arsonists aren't arsonists, they're mostly peaceful protesters. That treadmill, you don't deserve a treadmill. Lower your expectations. Get used to it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to...
Hey, do things like I told you to do, boy. All right. Why is, you know what the toxic relationship is? My chat room. You guys are fucking toxic. Tiffany and KK Levine, very toxic fucking ladies here. They're even getting Binky a little toxic. You fucking toxic ladies. Why don't you fucking settle down and get to some news? Look at Coco Giselle is like, bye KK. Talk about fucking toxic shit. Yeah, well, just kid around somewhere else. Dabu posted this, Convoy, Tennessee.
This is Dabu 7. And the Freedom Convoys begin in America. I'm going to show some route information on one of the first ones to kick off that begins this weekend here in just a second. But I want to go over some details here about these Freedom Convoys across the globe first. We have Belgium and France both banning these convoys, saying that they're not allowed inside of their countries. I can't wait to see how the people respond there. In Canada, when they were told they would be prosecuted if they get caught giving gas to the truckers, people came out en masse with gas cans just to prove a point. And now the mayor's saying that they're going to send the police out to start arresting people, truck drivers, if they don't pack up and get out of the area. So they're dropping these threats. Many of the truckers saying that are staying put. And we have groups that are gathering at different border crossings between the United States and Canada, blocking things up. It's more than just the Ambassador Bridge at this point. Now, when it comes to the United States, kicking off this weekend, Saturday, February 12th, at, I believe that's Central Time, 8 o'clock in the morning, you can see that they are leaving out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, heading toward Niagara Falls, New York. This first convoy, they have information here on their stops. They're going to start at 9 a.m. at the Walmart, Mount Juliet. And you can see here their stops. You can pause it and go back and read and get the updated information. They will be passing through Kentucky, passing through Ohio, on their way up to this spot. You can see in Kentucky some of the spots that they plan to stop at here. And then Ohio, here. Now, I will relay information over on Twitter and Getter. Make sure that you're following me there for updated information on all this. And I will continue to pop off videos and cover this.
Dabu 7. Yeah, they're gonna roll the robots in. I feel like deleting Tiffany. I just do. I just feel like deleting all of her shit. Where's your sense of humor? I'm gonna delete you. There's my sense of humor. That's funny to me. There's my sense of humor. It's poking out like the sunshine. Subscribe to Dabu. Dabu7. That's DAHBOO77. Two Akitas. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Akitas. Wow, it's not even 9 o'clock. The Jonesy show hasn't even started yet. Wow, it's so early. Wow, it's amazing. Chat is a police state. I'll blow you out of the water. I will light you up, Lisa Burns. Watch your mouth. I will light you up. I'm gonna light up Tiffany like misdirected hostility. I'm gonna light you up. I'm gonna fucking light your ass up with your misplaced bullshit. I'm gonna light your ass up. Fucking bullshit. I don't have the Trudeau video. I'm trying to play fucking InfoWars here and it's not even letting me. Grab the plastic. It's fucking happening. Yeah, oh, hell yes, it's happening. Tiffany's getting fucking papanked to the back of the head. Tiff's getting fucking slam hammered to the back of the head this morning. Grab the plastic sheets. She's just being all saucy and fucking blah, 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 blah. I don't have time for it. I just don't have time for that bullshit. Where's the Trudeau blah blah? Can you give me the Trudeau? What, you put it at me? Tiny URL? No, it's Dabu7. I don't see it. Just put it in there. I saw you guys trying to talk shit. And I came in there. Oh, James is something about Marcy. And then I blew that shit right the fuck up. Just, you know, like girls just kind of start talking and they just talk shit. And then they come at you with, oh, Joe, James hates me. That's a bunch of horse manure. Breaking. Iran unveils new apocalyptic missiles that can hit the Holy Lands. Here. The Holy Lands? We're going. Apocalyptic missiles, what have you. Ooh, Paul Bigley from the cornfields of Kansas.
Going on. Breaking news. Iran has unveiled a new apocalyptic missile. It can hit the Holy Land, folks. It can hit Jerusalem. It's got great accuracy. And it can hit any U.S. base in the Middle East. It can hit Tel Aviv. It can hit Jerusalem. It can hit anywhere it wants to in Israel. This is a game changer. Because
whoa, from the cornfields of Kentucky. Here, let's go here. Trudeau's talking to trucks now. He's the truck whisperer. Trudeau is the truck whisperer. You go to that dirty bird. Talk to the dirty bird. Talk to that dirty bird. Trudeau's expert statesmanship. He's talking to a truck.
Thank you. I agree with the impatience that people feel. I feel it too. We need to be moving as fast as possible. I accept that some people's perspective on that is that we need to respect people's freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom of religion.
That's really that's funny, Trudeau. Officer speaks out about some things here on the dirty little bird. Gentle but powerful words, he says. Get on the plastic sheet. Bless you, Pop.
Had very short and straight. I wanted to be free. My heart was being broken every day. When I saw that the very freedom that I moved to Canada for has been taken away, and people, Canadians who lived here, who were born here, they were not recognizing that. I fought here. I fought to come here to have it. And it was very difficult to see it to be taken away. Thank you, truckers. Thank you, farmers. Thank you, people with open hearts and clear minds for sending